When disasters like tornadoes or hurricanes happen, where do you turn? When you have a financial crisis, what do you do? Don't miss today's Believer's Voice of Victory as we share how the power of God brings restoration. In August 2005, Kenneth Copeland Ministries established the KCM Relief Fund to help restore hope and meet the physical needs of people whose lives have been changed by natural disasters. Kenneth Copeland Ministries partners with organizations with proven track records that are trained and equipped to handle the disasters they face. Together, we become the blessing in action.
There was a young woman with her children in her home. They got into the hallway of the house, and she covered her kids. The house is being obliterated and disappearing, and she could feel the vortex pulling on her and her children. And then she felt a man's hands on her back and realized someone had come in to help her and rescue her. And the hands were on her back, and as the storm passed by, she turned to look and say thank you, but there was no one standing there. She realized someone was there, maybe, who was it? It had to have been an angel. When she was changing that night, she saw the slight bruising on her back. That vortex was pulling her, trying to take her and her babies, and the hands that were on her back, the handprints were still there. Could still see where the hand of the Lord had been there. Our relationship with Kenneth Copeland Ministries in this particular storm really is an immediate and then afterwards, about 4 or 5 weeks down the way. You had people from KCM already in town looking for partners to find them. Are you okay? People who were part of our congregation told me that they were receiving phone calls right away, and then live people standing there saying, hey, we're glad you're all right, and helping those individuals. And when I got the call and said, we're going to send you some resources and we'll send the check to you, and we just want to help you. And then when they said how much was coming, I started crying in my office, because I knew what I needed to commit to and didn't have resources to commit to do immediately. They already had a truckload ready to send to us, a truckload of supplies. I mean, that thing was packed. Food, clothing,
double stacked, all the way back.
Camping supplies, toilet paper, paper plates.
They even had the, you could tell that they did it as fast as they could, because they had the cartons of orange juice, but they filled them with water just to get as much, to us as possible. So the cartons of orange juice were filled with water.
It was great. In order for me to show the love of God, I had to be empowered with resources to do so. Partners have empowered us to be able to love on one another, to make sure that their needs are being met, to make sure that some church has its light bill paid if it needs it, that we can partner with them as they're ministering and meeting needs. If they need some partnership in that capacity, then we're able to do that. We want to make sure that people are able to stay in their homes, or that they can rebuild their homes. Those who are underinsured or not insured, we want to try to help them in those capacities. And so the partners are making that possible for us right now. And KCM responding in a very significant way to empower us, to help people move forward, to not be victims, but to be victorious in this moment. I feel the love of God from Kenneth Copeland Ministries. I feel empowered as a pastor, as a shepherd who cares about the sheep of the flock, as a president of the Minister Alliance trying to strengthen the hands of pastors. There was no interpersonal relationship with the ministry leadership. They just simply knew that there were KCM partners in the community, members of our congregation that are covenant partners with the ministry. They simply responded because there was a need. Kenneth Copeland Ministries responded because there was a need. I'm not their best friend. I've never met Brother Copeland before. People have held our hands up so that we could love people. And by them doing so, thousands of families have come through our local congregation's facility. We're one of the 4 legacy points of distribution in the community. We made a commitment to long-term recovery, to renew, rebuild, and restore Joplin. So we're one of the 4 legacies. We'll be around. The Lord has already showed us that He's going to make provision for that, so we just made a decision we would let Him pass it through us. And as He does, we're blessed to be a blessing in every capacity. And right now what's happening in Joplin throughout this entire devastation is God's divine love and will is being expressed through partners who have given to KCM.
Through prayer, texts, phone calls, aid, and boots on the ground, together we have been able to become God's love in action for those in need. Because of your partnership, love is poured out, resources are shared, anointing is released, faith is increased, and compassion takes action. Thank you.